The Cold War. The Cold War. The expansion of communism transformed global politics. The world became divided between two rival blocs. The United States led the capitalist West, the Soviet Union led the communist East. This confrontation, known as the Cold War, shaped international affairs for nearly half a century. Although the superpowers rarely fought each other directly, they competed everywhere else. Proxy wars erupted in Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, and numerous other regions. Nuclear weapons created the constant possibility of catastrophic conflict. Communism became more than an economic theory. It became a geopolitical force, inspiring revolutions, shaping alliances, and fueling ideological battles across the globe. Mao's China. China followed a different communist path. Mao Zedong sought not only economic transformation, but also social and cultural revolution. His government expanded literacy, improved healthcare in many regions, and redistributed land. Yet Mao's most ambitious campaigns produced disastrous consequences. The Great Leap Forward, launched in 1958, attempted to accelerate industrialization and collectivization. Economic disruption and policy failures contributed to one of the deadliest famines in human history. Later, the Cultural Revolution sought to eliminate perceived enemies and reshape Chinese society. Schools closed, intellectuals were persecuted, and political turmoil engulfed the country. Like the Soviet experience, China's communist experiment combined significant social change with immense suffering. Cracks in the system. By the 1970s and 1980s, communist states faced mounting challenges. Central planning had succeeded in building heavy industry and expanding education, but many economies struggled to innovate and satisfy consumer demand. Shortages became common. Bureaucracies grew rigid. Political dissent was often suppressed. At the same time, the Soviet Union was spending enormous resources on military competition with the United States. In China, leaders began introducing market-oriented reforms after Mao's death. Under Deng Xiaoping, private enterprise and foreign investment were gradually allowed, while the Communist Party retained political control. The Soviet Union attempted reform later. Mikhail Gorbachev introduced policies known as glasnost, openness, and perestroika, restructuring. Instead of revitalizing the system, these reforms accelerated demands for change. The fall of the Soviet Union. In 1989, communist governments across Eastern Europe began collapsing with remarkable speed. The Berlin Wall, perhaps the most visible symbol of the Cold War, fell in November of that year. Democratic movements swept through the region. 2 years later, in 1991, the Soviet Union itself dissolved. For many observers, this appeared to mark the end of communism as a major historical force. Liberal democracy and market capitalism seemed triumphant. Some commentators even declared that ideological history had effectively reached its conclusion. History, however, had another surprise in store. Communism after the Cold War. Communism did not disappear. China remained under the rule of the Communist Party and gradually became one of the world's largest economies. Vietnam adopted market reforms while maintaining one-party rule. Cuba, Laos, and North Korea also continued under communist governments, though each followed a distinct path. Meanwhile, Marx's ideas continued to influence academics, activists, and critics of capitalism. The issues that originally concerned Marx, economic inequality, labor exploitation, corporate power, and wealth concentration, never vanished. In some ways, globalization and technological change made them newly relevant. Today, few people expect a worldwide proletarian revolution in the manner Marx imagined. Yet, debates about inequality, social justice, public ownership, and the role of markets still draw on concepts developed by Marx and later communist thinkers.